Ostrom, and today I'll be talking to you guys about proxemics, which is a study of space. I'm not talking about space like comets or the sun or the moon. Well, that's also very cool. I'm actually here to talk to you about space between people, more specifically, space between two people and how they use that to communicate, and the most effective ways to communicate using this space. So, to start this off, distance and position really do have a lot to do with it. They really play an effective role within communication. For instance, people of higher power, one of the best examples of this is people of higher power in certain communications are usually situated in front of everybody or above everybody that they are communicating with. For instance, a CEO's office is almost always on the top level of a building with a great view. It's to show a position of power. Teachers express both of these by standing in front of the classroom while all the students are sitting down, and they are above because all the students are sitting down. So there are four main categories of proxemics. The first one that I want to discuss is public distance. Now, this is the most impersonal distance that there can be. Its distance is greater than 12 feet, and it's the least personal distance. So what that means is that you rarely know barely anything about the person that you're communicating with, or that's communicating with you. Examples of this could be like a lecture hall. Notice how the person giving the lecture is standing while the rest of them are sitting, giving him a position of power. And also like going to a concert in general. You don't know anything, you don't know these people personally, and you're there to enjoy the music, or you're there to learn about something in a lecture. So our next distance or category is the social consultative distance. This is the lowest impersonal interaction distance, and it's typically somewhere between 4 and 12 feet. Now, you normally see this in mostly business practices. So like business meetings, you're typically 4 to 12 feet away from other colleagues. You would really be, it's a impersonal way of communicating with people, and it's not quite casual, but it gets the point across that you are you are willing and able to do business and work with someone else to solve a problem. Now, next we have our casual and personal distances. These are the type of distances that you would keep when you're typically around not your close group of friends, but people that you are acquainted with or that you have recurring relationships with. They're also not your extremely close family also. So your distant cousins, your distant relatives, you wouldn't situate yourself 4 to 12 feet away from them. You would situate yourself in this happy medium range, just to show them that you are interested in sparking a conversation and maybe becoming close. So next is the most personal distance. It's the intimate distance, and it's it's either less than 18 inches or touching someone else. So having your arm around someone, holding their hand, or just literally sitting super close to someone. These are typically in lovers or very, very close family, and it is the most close that you would want to get to somebody. And these are all very important, because if you use the wrong distance when you're communicating with someone, it can really leave the other person feeling very confused, very uncomfortable with the situation, and they won't know what to do. And this can really hinder your ability to effectively communicate with them. And that brings me to my next point. If you use these correctly, they can really effectively boost your interactions and the effectiveness of your communication that you are trying to connect with people with. Now, you can think of these 4 categories as a simple blueprint, not quite the one on the screen right here. It's just 4 things that you have to follow. If you don't know somebody and you don't plan on getting to know them, you can use the public distance. If you are acquainted with someone, you use the social consultative distance. If you are familiarly acquainted with someone and you maybe have interest in getting to know them a little better, you would use the social or casual distance. And then if you are very acquainted with someone, obviously, and very close, you would use the intimate distance. And these can very effectively boost your argument.